Last week was the Kinderlach Shluchim, the annual convention of the Rebbitzins, of the Rebbe's Shluchos, the women emissaries around the world. As I'd mentioned, only 1,200 came this year to Crown Heights because of COVID. Otherwise, there would have been close to 4,000. But it was a simultaneous virtual kinnis for those who couldn't make it. The same is true for the daughters of the Shluchis. Whenever there is a kinnis for the Shluchim, they bring along the boys, and there is a complete convention program for the boys with hundreds of boys attending. And the same thing is also for the girls. When their mothers come, they come along. Some of them, I should say, come along, and there is a program for them. This year, again, because of COVID, there were very few girls that came. So there was an extensive program, virtual program for those girls. So here is a message, I'll call it a message, which somebody writes about her experience on this conference. And the idea behind what I want to share with you is, we always speak about the Mesiras Nefesh, the self-sacrifice of the parents. You know what? The real unsung heroes are the children. And here are two snippets. And this is what she writes. The host for the Daughters Conference had spoken emotionally and complimented the girls who live in remote areas and must cope with challenging hardships and situations. Rabbi Dov Honig, who is an emissary, a shliach with his family in China, was at home when his daughters connected to the conference. Suddenly, 9-year-old Chani and 7-year-old Musya turned to their father from the computer and said, "Tati, they are telling us that there are emissary shluchos daughters in the world who are having a truly hard time, who are living with real self-sacrifice under very difficult conditions." And those two girls tell their father, "Wow, they're such a tzedekis. They're so righteous, so impressive." Rabbi Honig, who's listening to his daughters, he was amazed. His daughters are living in Chengdu, in the Sichuan province of Western China, without any Jewish children their age, learning solely through an internet school, the Chabad online school. If it's not difficult enough living there as is, they are now also living under China's severe corona restrictions. Anyone returning to the country must enter government-supervised isolation for 3 weeks. And therefore, our family and our children, says Rabbi Honig, hasn't traveled anywhere to be with the family for at least 2 years. Despite all this, when speaking of girls who are having a hard time, his daughters had no idea that they might be the ones they're actually speaking about. They did not understand that they were being complimented for their resilience. They are doing well, they're having fun, but mainly living with a sense of meaning on a mission that fills them with joy. Little Shluchim. Rabbi Levitansky moved with his family from the comfort of California to a little hamlet, city, somewhere in Russia. The only place that he found to rent was a big house, but didn't have too many amenities, including running water. They got used to it. They managed. After a while, parents and their children traveled to California to visit the grandparents and their cousins. And the 7-year-old, I think it was, turns around to her father, says, "Tati, our cousins living here are not Shluchim." Father says, "Why? They are Shluchim. They're the Rebbe's Shluchim. They're the Rebbe's emissaries. It can't be. They can't be Shluchim." Says, "Why? Look, they have hot and cold water running in the house, in the sink. Shluchim don't live like this. Shluchim, they say, have no running water in the house. We're talking about Mesiras Nefesh. We're talking about self-sacrifice. Listen to these little kids. And it says, from the mouth of the little ones, truth comes and salvation comes. Just in the merit of these children in China and in Russia and wherever they are. We deserve Moshiach already to reveal himself. And let us celebrate the Shabbos Mishpatim with Moshiach in the Beis HaMikdash, with all those little young wonderful shluchim all gathered together with the Meshaleach in the Beis HaMikdash.